Hey, hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing fine. I'm just trying to check if the voice is proper. Yeah, it is. It is working fine. So the last point where we left was this, where the ask core was pending. So we already had create chat model. So this creates a chat model. So it gives us a chat model to ask all the questions from this. So and I also created one git init and git ignore file. So if you see here, we already have a git ignore that ignores the .env and node modules, and on top of it we had already done, oh my god, and on top of it we had already done the models. So in this particular function we have everything. So it loads the environment variables, then whatever is forced, I mean the provider which we have given, or if nothing is present, it gives it anyhow keep it to lowercase, and we are checking this if it is present. So, and has OpenAI means for all these things, it means this thing, OpenAI API key if it has. So let's make it for this one as well. So if force equals to anthropic or forced, not forced, and has anthropic, then in that case return in the provider anthropic. I think I've already done for no, we have not done for anthropic. Cool. And in the model we need to return, okay, we can't return this, we need to return an instantiation, chat anthropic. So this is coming from llama, if you can see here, sorry, langchain. So we in the model, inside the model we will spread the base and we will keep this. Okay, in the anthropic, what we had in the anthropic was, if you see this provider, in this anthropic part we had hello cloud function, and this is the model that we were having, sonnet. So this is the model for anthropic, and we will spread the base, which is the temperature actually. So yeah, it works. Now base condition we are returning grok. So yeah, so we can keep all these as false or something like that. Now if you see the ask core, we will be creating one function called the ask core. So we will be connecting from here itself. So we will have a export async function. The name of the function will be structure, and as a user I'm gonna have type some queries. So this is gonna receive the query as a stream, and it's gonna give the result back. So if you keep it like this, it works. Now it returns a promise, right? So what it's gonna return? So this is gonna return this particular thing. So in my LC model, give me 1 second guys, I think we got disconnected. Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty basic. We already had something called create chat model, and we already had something called ask model inside scheme, ask result schema. Okay, so let's see model, hello agent, ask core, ask result. So we already had a schema of ask result. So this is actually a type. So what type we have? Summary and confidence. So this is the type that we had. Okay, Hmm. So next thing that we're gonna get the model actually. We are actually returning the model from here. So something create chat model from LC model. We need the model. Keep the instruction. That we have created is going to stay as. So it's basically like give me the data in this particular format. So first I'm going to take a variable and see like how we doing. So this is actually basically an instruction. We're gonna keep one more for user. Summarize it for a beginner. This is particularly from where we are taking this query. Query. We are taking this string actually in the query. Okay. Summarize for a beginner. Let's return the fields. You are a concise assistant and you are gonna return on the requested JSON only the requested JSON. Now the user summarize for a beginner. Query plus okay. Query plus return the fields. Return the fields. What fields? you are a concise, you are a concise assistant, and you are gonna return only the requested JSON. Summarize for a beginner this: return fields, summary, confidence. We had a nice result schema. So we have something called structured output here. So if you see structured output, this is for JavaScript. So the response will be sort schema. So we are going to use model dot with structured output in that. So okay. So agent, the ask result schema will be like use the Z object, name, email and phone, create the agent. Okay, we have already created that particular agent which we needed. The result is awake agent invoke, which will be message, role, user, content, etc. Structured response. Where is that result? Okay, agent dot invoke. Structure. Structured response with structured output. Okay. Structured output allows agents to return data in specific predictable format instead of parsing natural language responses. You get typed structured data. So the type of response format will be sort schema, a JSON schema. Record. Create agent. Okay, we already created the response format will be. Custom profile model profile. Provided strategy. Use this provided strategy when you pass a schema type directly in agent.response format. Provider native structure output provides highly reliable and strict validation because the model provided enforce the schema. Use it when available. Okay, create agent, model 5 GPT response format, await agent invoke, messages. Okay, so the const structured will be something like the model which we have got from structured with structured output ask result schema, which is already present in here. See here. Const result the LM part, AI message. Model dot with structured output. It's an array. Within that array there is an object of role. Okay. System content system role user content user. Let's keep it at 200, actually it will be better. So the question is to summarize this thing. User, I think this will work. Most likely this is gonna work. So let's check for this change now. Let's check what can be returned, the result. This is most likely the code itself. We are going to return the result in the end. So this is what actually is happening right now. So if you don't invoke also, this knows that it is declared. The structured output can be any, and with this model, what the type of this is, alias sort object ask const ask schema object strip input ask schema. Okay, so type ask result, return result. But if you do like this, okay, this will be type inference. I hope this is going to make things clear now. There is a system, there is a user, the structured message. In order to make the structured message invoker, invokes. Cool. The next step we are going to create here. Let's change it to server.ts. Server.ts. So we'll create an express. Let's import express. So we need to install types of course. So actually I think I have not explained this. So express and course doesn't come with types by default. So if you see in the npm registry, okay, you will get to know that npm registry. So you will get to know that express and course does not come with types by default. So how do you download them? See, it's dt here, right? So this package has TypeScript declaration provided by @types and Smith. So if you click on this particular icon, so you will be redirected here. So how to download, how to install it? npm types express. So that's what I did here. npm types express @types express, and also something called course, which of course helps in redirecting it to the server, all the request, npm course. So but this is also a dt, so which means that you need to install the types from here. So @types on /course. So yeah, so if you download this, it will go after saving this. Import course from course. So import load.env, all the environment variables. So let's use the course. So there will be one origin localhost here. This will be coming from the front end actually. Options, delete, these are the allowed one. Allowed headers will be content type as well as the authorization. So the credentials not needed for now. This in order to handle the JSON, we are doing this. So we will do for the post slash endpoint, will keep the ask, and it will be an async function. It takes a request and response. So in this, we are going to put a try catch block. So for now, let's keep it as any. So let's return response dot status 500 internal server error dot JSON. What kind of JSON it is going to be? It is going to be an error JSON. So this kind of error. So fail to answer from the LLM. So if you see here, it caught that and it is sending our own like readable JSON, and it is abstracted basically. So what we can do here is in console.log this particular error, and actually I think I've kept it very precise here, in which we're taking that message instance of error and we are actually printing that, making it a string, hard coding, like making no, we are not allowing the type inference here, we are doing it strictly manually. And then error, an instance of error. So if the const message error is an instance of error, then the error dot message will be shown. Otherwise we are stringifying this, not stringifying, actually keeping it string manually. And then we are making we are just allowing this message to be here, which is also good. So if I log this error, what do you think? Okay, cool, let's do this as well. So let's do error found, and then we'll keep it like this. Now within this code, we can call the ask structure. So we are returning something. No. We need to get a query from our request body. So before that, we are gonna do this. Oh, anyway, if we do this also, so const body, otherwise it's an empty object. If not query, if not query, or not query dot, when we trim it, it doesn't become. Then we're putting status 400, which means bad request, JSON, and within that JSON error, so this is the output query, and then the output should be like, okay, so after the if block, so we are gonna do const output is equal to now. So if this is, then return that. So the request body is already fetched, so we are gonna await for what? We are gonna await for our structure, and then we are gonna put the query here. Perfect. Now from the output, whatever res dot status of 200, which is okay, and the JSON. If I send a success true, so we can also send this JSON as output. Yeah, this also works because it already is sending some structure of JSON. I'm going to my env, guys. I'm putting the port number here. So we are done. Process.env.port. So I'm gonna start the server with app.listen. We'll pass the port here, and we'll do a call here. Pass the port. In order to run this server, we need to change from package. So if you see here, it is indeed running. Most of the thing is set only. So load multiple.env files with path env.local env. Okay, let me check from here what happened. Something happened. I don't know, something happened because of which. So yeah, so I have added this. Now if I do a git status, I'll get this server.ts git add dot git status. Now if you see, these are the changes. This is the backend changes. So yeah, this is a change in the backend. Now if I try to run, I do a clear npm run dev. So most likely I'm gonna get in the console.log. this particular thing, app is listening on 5000. So server is listening to port 5000, and it is also allowing the localhost 3000. So if you see where we have written for that thing allowed port, this is cars. So in the cars we have allowed this particular thing here. So 3000 we have allowed already. So the server is actually in running state because it is already listening, and we only need to integrate this with our UI right now. So let's do this. Give me 2 minutes. Okay guys, so the next procedure will be to go towards the front end part. So we will need to create some API routes from this. So what I can do is I can create another batch from here. So the backend is already running. Let's close this anyhow. After completing that, we will do for that. So if you see, I need to go to the UI, and then if you see here, if I do ls minus la, so I'll be able to see a dot git. So this is also in git. So if I clear this, this is already tracked. My UI is already tracked. My changes are already there. So what I can do is I can check if something is there to add. Yep. So if my UI has ignore, yep, it has ignore. It has so many things that it can ignore. So what I can do here is I'll do a git add dot, and I'll do a git status now, git commit base foundation of UI for the AI calls. So now if I do a git status, I'm on the main branch. I'll clear this. So if you see here, I have only tracked my git. So if you see git log, so you will see that base foundation for UI and AI calls, which means that the base UI is already present here. So if I clear this, which is gonna clear like WQ and an exclamatory mark, and I clear this, and then we need to have some kind of connection between the backend and the front end. And to do this one, Next.js actually gives an inbuilt functionality to build an API. So how we can check is in the source folder, See, we don't have a source folder here, but we have an app folder here, right? We can make an API folder here. So now Next.js folder, now Next.js understands that this folder has actually backend logic within it. So backend routes are called from this particular folder. Next.js understands. So what was our path earlier? Our path was this /ask. So if you do for this ask and here you need to do write a proper name called route.ts, and then Next.js will understand that this is an ask route. We already have dot in the client side. Do we have? Nope. So backend is running on port 5000, that is why we have kept it in this way. So we are going to simply create the logic from here. And if it is not there, then this one not gonna break, so we are gonna keep this one as the default also. This is a post type of route. So we're gonna take the request, the type will be request, we already will have let this next response JSON so we're gonna abstract this total message and give it the user defined value. So we're gonna fetch the body from here. It's a post request, so of course body is equal to await rect.json. So we will call our API. method is of type post, headers will be there, content type application JSON. We're gonna pass in the headers another thing. No, it will suffice. So we will also send the body. So in this body we will send JSON.stringify this particular body. So request.json, we're gonna take it. This will be a type of JSON. So the data is API response, we tool await and fetch. So we are doing it in JSON format. So what it will return is next response.json, whatever the data is. Yeah. API response.status. Based on this proxy we are calling the backend. So this is one of the best ways we can do the API call, but this is debatable. This is server style calling actually, basically. There are a lot of options actually. So we are simply creating a route for this. So when calling the API routes, it's gonna hit this routes here, and it's gonna ask the structure methods, and it is gonna create the methods and create the outputs based on the schema, and based on that it's gonna return you the result. Particularly this is the exact workflow. So we will integrate this now. We'll create the UI for it. So basically this API is ready, most likely. This is particularly the file where we're gonna write. So even if it takes some time, so we'll create it, we'll write it actually. And we'll do it in N. So there is a div. You can write this. So this is actually main height 100 dvh. Okay. 100 vh in height. There is something called dvh as well, which is also full. If I do this, and if I do npm run dev, then basically the whole thing goes yellow. Yep. So if I do this, no, it doesn't work. Width 1.5, do this 7. 799 is not that, so if you do with full, it works. So we'll keep another div inside this div, and we're going to keep a class name again. MX. So margin inline will be auto MX. Okay. So another thing will be flex minimum height DVH R is present width is full max width 2XL flex call px4 padding bottom 24. Okay, padding top 8. In the header moving around foot, and here also another class name. The tracking is tight. So PW tracking, fold semi-bold, font text is Excel, font is semi-bold, tracking is tight, the space between these trackings is tight. Hello agent, hello. So if I do it here, hello agent here, ask anything to me. So if the tracking isn't tight, what happens? Hello agent here, ask anything to me. The gaps. Okay. Anyways, after the header part, we'll be installing one more component that is called the card component. So npm /latest npx /latest so it is checking the registry, it has added one. So if you see the components, you will get the card. We need to have loading states and queries as well as we don't need, we can do type inference here. Done. This will be an answer array. This is the type. So yeah, so answer type of array, and currently it is empty. Not required actually, this will infer the types anyhow. We'll take card header component, card title component, so if we do this and we try to run this, let's see if it runs properly. Hopefully it runs properly because we have made it to use client. We've taken, okay, not required, this is not required. So yeah, so these are the answers. So where we have the answers and the card title. So assume if within the card title, if I want to do bg and what 20, yeah, it happens, it takes it, which is good. It accepts, it is compatible with the Tailwind CSS. Mix auto, flex min, DHP, full 2x, flex call, px4, pv24. Flex 1. Takes that, so you are inside this. So this flex, it takes the first flex. After the card header, you are gonna have the card content. Actually answers. No answers yet. Correct. For every answer. Rounded Excel border. We'll keep some border, and then we're gonna keep something pretty bad at CSS, but that doesn't mean that it is some kind of thing to be proud of. So div, we're gonna have another class name. What the? Now we're gonna have another class name. The text we're gonna keep small. It will be leading, and it will lead to something around 6. And we are gonna do answer.summary. So from where we are getting this confidence and summary. So inside this div, you can write another div here. Only 2 points after the confidence. And the class name, will make it merchant top 1. Merchant top 1. So it will have a gap of this much. So the text will be extra small, and the text for now we don't have any answers. Now that we're going to create our form, but we're going to form where we're going to enter the queries and all. It will basically be at the end of this card. Fixed insert x of 0. Margin inline auto, and insert is 0. Insert inline calculation from the minus spacing 0 fixed. So mx auto, w will be full, max will be 2. Max with So it will be flex gap of 2. So we're gonna bring the inbuilt component just like we install the card component. So here I'm gonna input the 2 values. Okay, so inside here if you see, this is where it will be. So if I change the color, you will be able to see it. So let's see this in action. So if I change the color of the form here, it is currently here, right? Oopsie. Anyways, okay, so we are gonna install the input component as well. So yeah, so npx set cn at the latest add input. So the third component will also be added from this. So if you see this input component, whatever components we need, we are incrementally adding from here. In the meantime, we can also take 2 more refs here. We need to handle the form, right? Two refs I'm gonna take. Okay, so input ref, and also I'm gonna use ref HTML input element, of course. Currently it is null. It's not required. So the ref will be my input ref, of course, inside this div. So if you see, I have an input element, so I need to import that element as well. So I have an input element here, so the ref will be input ref and now pass a value. The query. And change. So this will also create a stale value, so why not? Type of questions here. placeholder is done. Another thing is there, disabled when loading. Not required. This when loading. We're gonna put some class name, height of 11, and then we're gonna do a run dev. Let's check. Okay. So it is what it is. Okay, so the place where we have gone wrong is here. This is where we've gone wrong. So this is done mostly around that 3xl. Nope, around that 3xl won't work. This is the form basically, and within this form the 3xl, yeah, so this actually works. Okay, looks good. Yeah, this looks pretty much okay. Inside the input we're gonna keep the button. Okay, cool. So cool. So button can't be inside input, of course. Ask and thinking. Leave this. Period icons, how do you use it in Next.js? Anyways, leave. So yeah, ask is okay. So we can only do this class name, cursor pointer, so this makes it like this. Works. Ask. Yeah, works nice. But I need something other than this. What is this? Ghost open. Nah. I've already seen this. Secondary will be good. Oops. The red one. Send will be better. This is cool. Button will be disabled when the loading is true. Correct. So button disabled when loading. Class name H11. The height. Okay. So there goes the input, the gap, inset, flex, fixed. Works. Inside the form, let's pass a ref. The form ref will handle all that. We already had this, right? So it's not taking. Yeah. And there will be an on submit. We'll create a handle query. Name will be this. Handle query submit. We have to set it by default, prevent default. So yeah, so if I do that, then it actually does not re-render upon that click, which is nice. Const So if it is already in progress, loading is true, then just return it. Just return it, that's it. This is good. This is actually good. Like when the question which we have got after it is trimmed, the question is not present itself, and there is a loading state, then you just return. The API folder ask. We are gonna pass a method which is post. That was a proxy. Here's content type. We are going to send the content type as well. So in this we are going to have the application slash JSON, and apart from that we also going to have something without the header, that is the most important thing, called body. So JSON dot stringify the whole body thing, which is like the query. So we have this query. So inside the body we have JSON dot stringify, and inside that we're gonna have the query. Body is stringify, query is present, method post. So I hope you understood this particular piece of code. So when it is already in loading state, that means we have already asked for it. So after it finishes, we ask it again. We will log the data first and we'll see what is happening. So we'll go to our env. We will be having something called Gemini, but we will change it to Grok. So yeah, so we will do an npm run dev here. We'll also do an npm run dev here. Okay, boom 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 boom, every single time. Anyways, I'm fed up of myself doing all this. So 5000 is running, 3000 is also running. If I go to 3000, I see here, okay, So I will open this network tab, send a hello, ask API is called, see the payload, response, hello is a greeting used to acknowledge someone, confidence. Damn. So what we have asked here in that grok API was source ask code, yeah. So you are a concise assistant, you're gonna return only the requested JSON, summarize as a beginner, return field, summary short paragraph. Okay, so this was the summary that we got, and this is the confidence that we're getting. Amazing, amazing, amazing. But it is always thinking. Okay, got it. So post thinking, it should become set loading false. So here, excuse me, so here if I send something called Kubernetes, okay, it's written here, see Kubernetes, I'm sending this, it is taking to the ask API, it's going. Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration, scaling, management and containerized application. Confidence is one whole confidence. Nice. So it is still in thinking. Damn. Why is it like that? Maybe not saved this. Okay, we have kept it to true again. It should be false. So if I send docker hxsr docker, so yeah. So Docker is a containerized platform that allows developers to package, ship and run application in containers. Amazing, amazing. So we need to show it here only. That's the only thing that is left now. Previous confidence was 1 again. The confidence scores are very high. Amazing. Fail to answer from LLM. Amazing. Why did you fail to answer from LLM? Tool call validation field, parameters for tool extract. It will fail. Okay. Cool. Okay, 0.9. Cool, cool. Works. The data that I'm receiving, I'll take that. Data is answer type, of course. Why would I? Whatever the previous answer was. So we will spread the previous one. So again what we will do is we will set the query to empty, input rep dot current dot focus after that. Perfect. This is better. Instead of here, so we will ask what is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a conventional AI chatbot developed by it can understand and respond to human-like queries. Notice is okay. There is a gap in it. We have to put some gap in the content. So wherever the answer is, yeah, this is the map. Nope. Answers are there. Card content. Header is okay. Card content is okay. Okay, cool. Class name. Not required. Within these components, I need the gap. So margin top is 2. Correct. Works. But actually if I keep it like this, then the main point is I'm getting a confidence and a summary here. So in the backend what I have structured as a confidence is within the LC model schema, okay, number server.ts, the ask structure. Model with structured output. If you are creating on any startup or SaaS, And if you want to create our own AI model, then it will be amazing to use this. Input is quite important, we're going to discuss, but the output is pretty much structured right now. So if I ask here what is LangChain, then you will pretty much get with 0.9 confidence this answer. So if you want these to come one after the another, then what you can do is this is the backend, so in the UI part, if you go to this page, so we were appending something like here, right? So in the set, so if you want, you can do this. So in this, if you append, so it will come one after the another. So assume what is Apple iPhone, so it comes here as smartphone made by Google. Okay, after that Samsung Galaxy S23. Okay, so it increases like this. So instead of this, what we can do is within this it can scroll, but for now it works. So yeah, so this becomes a long lengthy component, and whatever we are asking it is giving, right? The graph is giving the answers. Amazing. So yeah, there are not very much concepts related to this LangChain. Like we took a type of LangChain instances, like from Grok, from your Gemini, Anthropic, and Grok was working, it was giving the llama free. So yeah, so that's why we used it. And apart from it, it was like only to append all the types and then take those types. So it is pretty much easy when it comes to taking the output. So for now, I think this is what this session is all about, guys. So I will need to check some more things. So I'll see you later. Goodbye. See you in session 4.